story time, guys. So we want to share with you our Costco journey. Okay, so this
Yes.
is probably the number one question that people ask us all the time. How did you get your product into Costco stores? So we're
Exactly.
gonna tell you guys a little story.
Because, when we first started, we had a dream. Like, we wrote up a dream list of all different retailers that we'd like to be in. Of course, everyone wants to be in Walmart, but Costco was really right up there. And
Yeah.
we really wanted to get our product in Costco.
Yes, wanted to get our product in Costco. And so, we started out how everybody probably would start out, by Googling and figuring out what's the phone number to call, Costco, or
Yeah,
who can
who to
we
speak to.
email, who to speak to, who's the buyer. And so we did all of that stuff. And, we sent emails.
Yes.
Remember those packets you would make up?
Oh
Like,
yeah, make up a whole packet with all our information
yes,
and
a big
photos
packet
and
too. It was
all
big.
that, and just send it off. And needless to say, we didn't get any response.
Yeah, they probably do that packet right in the trash.
That's right.
But we sent out packets and information, and we would never get a response. So it's like, how do we do this? And so
Yes.
one day we got the number. We figured out who our buyer was.
Mm-hmm.
So we said, you know what? We just gonna call him
Mm-hmm.
and ask to be in Costco, and
Just
see
give
what
it a
happens.
shot.
And so we did.
Mm-hmm.
We called, and so the first issue we had was there was an actual person, I guess, like a, I don't know, secretary or whatever,
Like a gatekeeper.
a gatekeeper. Like, she answered the phone, and so I we were nervous, and so I would ask to speak to the person, and she was like, okay, well, who's calling and why are you calling? And so, initially our call wasn't getting put through.
Right.
So we quickly learned, it's all in your cadence and how you're speaking. So if you're calling and speaking scared and you're timid
Hesitant.
and you're hesitant, they're going to be like, yeah, we're not going to pass this call through. So we quickly learned. So we would end up calling, and I would be like, hi, this is Charleston Gourmet Burger Company. I'm calling for such and such. And then it'll be like, oh, okay, all right. They would patch us through. So, yes. Okay, so we got our call patched through, right? And so once we got our call patched through, we got the buyer on the phone. He actually answered.
Yes.
And so we went into our whole little spiel, right?
Yes.
And so once we stopped speaking, he was like, well, how many stores do you have? And at that point, we were just starting out. So we were like, well, none. He's like, what's your sales? Well, we don't really have sales yet. He's like, okay, well, when you're more established, call us back. Click.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, all right. And so, we waited for a few months, and then I think we had like, what?
Yeah, we
Walmart.
started getting a couple stores.
Yeah, we had Whole Foods.
Yeah.
So we had a few stores. I think we had like maybe like 3 or 4 stores. We got Whole Foods. We got Walmart, and
well,
I think
Harris Teeter. Yeah, I don't think we were in
we
Walmart
didn't work Walmart
yet.
yet. So then we had Whole Foods, Harris Teeter. I know we had a few like local.
Yeah, they were Piggly
gourmet,
Wiggly.
Yeah,
Southern Season.
Mm-hmm. So we had a few like local grocery stores also. So we had a few. So I was like, okay, boom, we're gonna call back. So we called back, and he actually remembered us. So we called back. So I was like, hey, this is Charleston Gourmet Burger Company calling back. Okay, so we have a few more stores. And so I told him the stores. I was so proud. He was like, so what's your sales? So I was like, well, we're just starting out. I really don't know yet. He was like, okay, well, when you have some more sales, and you're more established, call us back.
I think he gave us a number though. Yeah, he told us.
Did he give us a number then?
Grand.
Okay,
said,
so I think that happened the next
oh,
call.
okay,
He
all
said
right.
no.
Okay.
And so he said no again. So he hung up. And so I think it was like a year, maybe 6 months.
Yeah, it really took time and persistence.
It took time. So we called him back, and so then he's like, okay. So no, I think you are right. The second time when we called him, I asked him, I said, what would it take?
What would it take?
Yeah, so
exactly.
Shabbat was right. So the second time we called him, I said, what would it take for you to say yes to us? What does it take for you to say yes? Like, what do we need to do to get on the shelves of Costco? Okay. Y'all write this down. So he said, okay, so we want you to have 3 retailers, which we had. So he's like, we want you to have 3 retailers, but we want you to also have a minimum of $100,000 a year in sales that we can track, trackable sales. You can't go in there and just pretending you got $100,000 because they want to see some receipts. So got to have $100,000 in trackable sales. So I was like, okay. And so then he said $2 million of insurance. And I think, did he talk about a co-packer at that point?
He said you have to have a co-packing facility that have the correct certifications.
Yeah. Okay.
Necessary.
He did say that. Okay. So we were like, okay, boom, check. So I was like, okay, so if we have that, and when we come back to you, is that a yes? He started laughing. He was like, we'll talk about it when you have all of that. So in my mind, I was like, oh, we going to Costco. That's a yes. So in my mind, I was like, that's a yes. So we were like, okay. So I said, okay, bye. And we hung up. Shavalo and I, we had those things written down. We worked on them, y'all. And it took us, what? It wasn't that long. I think it was the next phone call was probably, 6 months?
Yeah, it was more time. It took some time.
Yeah.
But we were able, by that time, I think we were over 5 retailers. But we were able to have the verified $100,000 in sales.
Over $100,000 in sales.
And we had a co-packer that had all the necessary certifications necessary.
Yes. And so we called him back. So I was like, hey, remember us? Remember us? Remember our conversation that we had? We have everything that you asked. So can you give us a shot? Just put us in a few stores. Just put us in a few. So what they ended up doing, he started laughing. He loved our persistence. He loved that we were really, really dedicated. And so he said, here's what we're going to do. Y'all remember this too. So he said, we're going to put you in our demo program, our roadshow program. So he said, I'm going to give you a few stores. I'm going to give you a few dates to go and roadshow your product. So what that really means, if you guys have ever gone into like a Costco or a Sam's Club or a BJ and you see different companies in there and they're like in the middle with their products and they're selling their products and they're not actually on the shelf. They just have like a table.
They have a table and they're giving out samples. And most times if people like the samples, they're able to purchase the product there and the product can go through the register. But they don't actually have shelf space yet.
No.
They don't actually have their product on the shelf
So
yet.
you do have to have a UPC when you do this, okay? Because your product is going to scan through Costco's register. So they'll put you in the system. They'll give you a number and all of that stuff. But you're not actually what do you call it, a supplier technically, because they're just trying you out to see if they like you. And so they'll also give you sales goals. So I think we had to do $1,000 a day in sales and our show was from Thursday to Sunday, so we had 4 days. You had to do $1,000 a day minimum in sales, and if you did that, then we could have the conversation about actually getting the product on the shelf, okay? So we ended up doing that, and I think we did 2 or 3 road shows, and they all were very, very successful. So y'all know what happened next. Y'all know we got on the phone and called him back, and we were like, hey, this is Charleston Gourmet Burger Company. What's going on? We had our road show. Our numbers are great. We did exactly what you said to do. Can we get a shot? Can you put us on the shelf? And guess what? They said yes. And we got on the shelf of Costco. And so that's how we ended up getting our product into Costco stores. And it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I just also share with you this information. Sometimes people will say, they want, are you guys in every Costco? They want nationwide deals, and Costco doesn't work that way. It's not like some stores, there'll be one buyer for your category, and they can say, you'll go in one store, you'll go in all of them. Costco doesn't work that way. Their stores are regional. So they'll have the buyer for this region is not going to be the buyer for somebody else's region. It's different ones. So you don't go in all the Costco stores. So you could go, on a chunk, it's just a networking thing. Once you get in a certain area, then you gotta hustle. So you gotta have some good work ethic to expand that product line and get it in more stores, okay? So hopefully you guys enjoyed this story time.
There you go.
Comment below if you want us to do more story time so we can share with you guys, because Lord knows we got a lot of stories, right?
There you go.
We got a lot of stories for story time. So let us know if you enjoyed this story, and maybe we'll do more story time and share some stuff with you guys. But yes, thanks for checking us out.
Yes, and they should like and subscribe.
Hit that subscribe button. Yeah, so make sure you don't miss when we post new content on our channel. So make sure you like this video and share it. Sharing is caring, okay? Tell your friends, tell your family members. If anybody can use our services, we would love to have them here on our channel with us. All right?
All right.
Be blessed. Thank you guys for checking us out.